Nobody's listening, right? Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Is anybody listening?
Yeah, this one comes from Hannah in Brooklyn. Wow, came from my sister, stayed for the friends. My sister Emily lives and breathes all things E&A, so I became a toastie last year.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Shout
it's
out
for the one sure thing.
Your podcast about death and dying.
Yes.
It's really uplifting. Last year, and then joined the Nobody bandwagon a few months ago, and boy, am I glad I did. I am regularly cackling or crying in public thanks to you two. I adore you both, and gossiping and gushing about the two of you with my sister makes the many miles and time zones between us a little easier. Heading to Patreon now for the safety of more than 1,000 hours of a show about nothing and everything.
Yes. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can at patreon.com/nobody's listening right.
Yes.
And we are about to have our holiday happy hour on the 9th, which is a Saturday at 4 o'clock PST. Bring your festive cocktail or mocktail, your Christmas or holiday spirit, and we're going to get fun and festive.
Ooh, I love that. If you want to get some merch for a loved one for the holidays coming up, now's the time. Head over to nobodieslisteninright.com and click the merch button. And we got some sweet merch there you can get that all your friends and fam would look really great in.
I agree.
We also want to give a big thanks to AG1 for supporting our show. Mm-hmm. If you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Just go to drinkag1.com/NLR. That's drinkag1.com/NLR.
Healthy for the holidays.
Loving it.
All right. Where to begin?
I have a quick follow-up that might be a good thing to just knock out real quick.
Okay.
Someone threw up a YouTube comment, and this must have been on the episode where we were talking about the female crash test dummies.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, I'm listening.
Yay.
There's a seatbelt attachment made for this. Okay. Sort of. Its purpose is to make the seatbelt more comfortable to wear, not for better safety. Anyways, it's called the Tiddy Bear. And it's really called Tiddy Bear, and it's a little bear that attaches to the seatbelt so it won't hurt the titties. There's an infomercial on YouTube. I do not endorse this product, but I love that it exists. And it turns out it is a real thing.
Yeah, I'm looking. I love that you honed in on this.
No, it was a comment, and
I know.
We talked about a similar thing.
I know it was a comment, but it's like, first of all, it's a comment on that clip. Well, this person's listening, right? So they are a nobody or somebody.
Yeah, this was on like the episode.
Okay, that does change it. Never mind. I was just thinking that clip also has kind of gone viral. We have millions of views already.
Okay.
And so I was thinking like of all of the however many tens of thousands of comments, the one that you gravitate towards is there's a teddy bear.
I'm so annoyed with you because one, this is clearly from a fan that says I'm listening.
Okay,
and two, we talked about inventing something, didn't we?
No.
Weren't we like, this is another idea?
No.
Well, anyway, someone already got to it. I think it's a clever name.
Of course you'd be in that. It's Tiddy, like Teddy, not Titty.
I didn't say titty. I said titty.
I'm just saying it.
I don't know why you're so mad at this.
It's just, I'm not mad at it. It's featured on the Ellen DeGeneres show, so I guess it's. But there are a lot of strap solutions
for breasts.
It's really funny.
Busts.
When you first brought this up, I don't know if you know this. Okay, so this other really great female-led, I think is what it is, and I should know this, an Instagram company. What's it called? Account. Oh boy. I had 2 vodkas last night, and so does. I feel a little fuzzy. 'Tis the season. So they posted our video. They asked us for permission. They shouted us out. Great. To any new listeners, thanks to them. Welcome. But clip out of context. In the clip which you created, you made the choice to end with you going, the breasts?
Yeah.
Which makes you look like a total doofus.
But I love
and also
so
like
much.
a like yucky guy.
Okay.
And also the other
yucky guy, you think?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Not like a pervert, but just an idiot.
So you're saying that there's potentially 1 million people that think I'm an idiot.
Well, it's interesting. The other video we have that's gone very viral, the cast iron skillet viral, I was made out to be the idiot because without the context of what the clip is, I'm interrupting you and asking you questions. And
Dumb questions, right. I'm just kidding.
So in this one, the question you ask is, I'm talking about, female drivers, and you go, get in most of the accidents. That's the other thing you say. And I say, they don't cause most of the accidents. They're less likely to be driving when an accident happens. And then the next thing you say is the breasts, like at the end of the clip.
Okay.
It does make you out to, like, if you didn't know you don't listen to the show,
right.
You look a little, and in fact, the like top comment on the Female Led's page.
I haven't looked at any of these comments.
Okay. Well, wait, let me go.
Oh, no.
But you know what, Andy?
What?
I was thinking about this, and I'm like, it's fine. They don't know you. They don't. Hang on.
You had to do some brain gymnastics to figure this out?
It is _female_lead. LEAD. Okay.
That's their Instagram account?
Yes. So let's see.
Wait, let me pause you just for 1 second. So we put up this clip and it went pretty big on TikTok. I think that's how they saw it. And they asked if they could repost it on Instagram. And describe the account. What kind of account is it? It does seem like a nice.
It's very cool. It posts information, and it's a feminist kind of and female oriented.
Right. So when I saw this, I didn't respond, and then I later found out that you responded. But I was like, did they see the end of the video? Because the end of the video is me looking like an idiot saying the breast, which I think's funny. But
so, like, one comment, yet he still interrupts her. Hang on, where is like the top comment?
Ooh.
There's one that has like 5,000 likes.
Oh, really?
Okay, it has 1.3 million views on their page.
Okay.
It came up on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's, people are misunderstanding the whole context. You're kind of making fun of a guy who would be an idiot like that.
Yes.
Obviously, it's not just the breasts. You're well aware of that.
Yeah.
But the comments are like, this idiot.
Let me ask you this. Do I get more raked over the coals on this video than you did for the cast iron skillet video?
No.
Well, that's how it should be.
Oh, my God. I mean, okay. Him interrupting to say that women are the most drivers in crashes is a hilariously male thing to do, is one that has 5,500 likes.
Oh, great.
Also, he's part of the problem. This is a different one. His listening and comprehension skills are severely lacking. Okay, so I did have to think about it because it's funny. I feel like, unlike you with the cast iron skillet video, my instinct is to come in and go, hey, that's my husband. He created this clip. He's actually like making a commentary on what men would be.
I also edited it to like probably seem that I'm interrupting you even more.
Yes. But someone commented then on our page.
Okay.
And I deleted it. Because I'm like, that can live in the landscape. But
what did they say?
It was mean to you.
Can you say what they said?
I don't remember what it was. Okay. But it was like this idiot who, whatever. And where was I going with all of this? Oh my gosh, my brain is very like.
Well, I think you were a little upset that I brought up the Tiddy Bear, and this just felt like a way for you to kind of take me down a peg or two.
Well, it's just like, it's funny on the heels of not 2 hours ago, I was in this cycle of defensiveness about you and how you're not like, and here we are.
And here
you're so excited about the Tiddy Bear.
We are.
Now, comfort is important.
Yeah.
is cute, but it's also cute in a way that makes me like really uncomfortable, where I'm like, there are all sorts of pervy guys like you out there that are like, ooh, the teddy bear, and kind of like probably looking for hashtag teddy bear to.
Okay.
It's like it's a teddy bear that straps onto your seatbelt and then rests like in between your boobs on the top and bottom.
Some might say in between the titties. It's only $9.99 and it came out 14 years ago. I think this was like someone had a fun idea for a video that went viral 14 years ago. They probably moved some units, and now this is like, how many do you think they're moving now?
This is so upsetting. Okay.
Do you think they're moving like one a month now, or do you think it's like less than that? Or do you think they're still moving a bunch?
I don't know, but it's quotes. Ellen DeGeneres says, quote, stupid. One of the best inventions I have ever found.
Wow.
Okay, now this is infuriating me. If you go to the testimonials page on their janky ass website,
Yeah.
This is the picture. Okay.
The guy has one too.
But look at him. He's excited because he's been fucking masturbating all over this shit. Like he's
What?
using the titty.
Hold on. He's been masturbating all over what? The teddy bears?
The teddy bear is made for masturbating. Look at this. It's got a loop that goes around.
Oh, you just put it around your dong. What?
You got one for your wife for her comfort in driving. I mean, this lady isn't using it. Like, this is the weirdest picture. It's two kind of people in their 60s. Look at the look on his face. If you think he's not masturbating with this thing when he gets home.
My dream of dreams right now is that somehow we have someone listening that bought one of these 14 years ago, and they're like, I never tried putting that around my dick.
Well, if it's a man who bought it, that's the first thing you thought of. This woman's using it, and this woman is going, yeah, she doesn't even need it. It's these kind of older white people.
Whoa, back up. Why does she not need it?
She's not wearing the right shirt for it. Like,
why does she not need it?
This hall is all fucked up. And then this guy.
What if they started the company?
Oh, well, look at him. I mean, if he started the company.
He looks like he could have started the company.
He looks like such a sleazy perv who's so excited to get that home and put it on his dick.
In fact, such a weird
he
turn.
Probably can't even get hard without a teddy bear holding his dick.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There could be much, much, much worse things.
That's true.
I would like to see that therapy session. We used
to have a good sex life, but
I have a problem.
Then my wife was uncomfortable with the seatbelt.
Did you ever see that viral video 14 years ago? There's a thing called a Tiddy Bear.
And so I got her one, and I couldn't help but notice that it would be nice to have it hugging my dick. And I started using it, and now I can't perform without it, and I can't get hard without it. And the second I shake it off, my dick goes limp, and I'm no longer able to have sex with my wife. Now we've had to create a vagina teddy bear that she puts on her vagina. And so it's as though the teddy bear is her vagina going on my dick.
You just put a couple of those stick on googly eyes in the pubes and a bear nose, and you're good to go.
Ears. You need ears. Okay.
What a weird turn. Well, thanks for taking me down a peg or two, and then making me imagine a guy with a janky little bear wrapped around his dick. It's only like 9:00 in the morning.
If you guys want some of our new merch, then nobody's listening, right?
Busty Bear.
What's a fun word for a bear to be on a dick?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Huggy bear?
Huggy bears. That's not bad, but there's a Huggy Bear already, right?
Mm-hmm. There's something that's like we're missing that's right there. I mean, Bader
Bear. Dickie Bear?
No, that's dumb.
You call it Dickie Bear. His name's Dickie.
That's so dumb. That's just dumb.
Pecker Bear.
Okay,
You have
This is
brought nothing to the
this is-
table. You brought nothing to the table. I'm
Huggy
going
Bear.
to
I
keep
brought
going.
Huggy Bear, and I also like Bader Bear or something. But
Bader Bear's not bad.
you're just thinking of different words for dick and putting it in front of bear.
Master
Bearder.
Bader Bear.
Master Bearder.
Master Bearder. So it's like master space. And he comes in a tuxedo, like a butler.
I love that.
Although,
Yeah, it gets
probably want a
weird.
female bear too. We have both. We could have Master Bader and
It doesn't matter. I think it can be non-binary. It's a, teddy bear. It can be whatever you want it to be.
not if it's
But
in
then we could have, like Build-A-Bear.
Uh-huh.
Is there a play on that?
Build-A-Bear. Let's move on.
Okay, you could have accessories. This is all I was
What
gonna
kind
say.
of accessories? Sorry, you got
just
me there.
like just like Build-A-Bear. What a genius fucking
Different
scam
like
that is.
tension things. A cock ring attachment.
Yes, absolutely. It's like my, the thing in my throat, the muscle. It can get tighter.
Oh,
What's that called? Shotsky's ring.
stop it.
That has not been acting up lately, which
Good,
is nice.
good. Onward ho. Onward ho. All right.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you about an exchange I had with the woman that cleans our house.
Oh, love her.
Love her. We were chatting about holiday plans, this and that, and I said we're going to go up to our cabin, hopefully. And I don't know why, but I shared the information. We're actually going to try to take our cat with us. And she said, oh. And I was like, huh? She had an interesting reaction. And then she laid a story on me that I was not prepared for. And it seems like, is it an oracle?
Oh, no.
Like, I'm already worried that this is going to happen. And I happened to share the information that we're going to take a cat with us. And then she told me the story that I'm exactly scared is going to happen to her and her family.
Well, yes.
So do you know about this yet? Did she?
She did share with me. I love her so much. And also, she's worked for us for
10 years?
12 or 13 years.
Okay.
She's been with us through the births of our children. She feels like family to me in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
She always has stories that will kind of blow your mind. I mean, and this was funny because I walked in, I was like, you look great. Were you on vacation? Because I know she took some time off, and she was like, yeah, we went to the beach. And I was like, was it fun? And she goes, no, it was terrible.
So she launched into the story
And went right
for
into
you.
it. I think it was on the heels of you being so interested, though.
I talked to her for like 15 minutes about it.
Okay, so tell me, I don't know the ins and outs.
They were going on about a 4-hour drive.
Uh-huh.
Her son and his family were in one car, and she was in another vehicle. About halfway through the drive, she gets a phone call from her son's wife, who's freaking out, says the cat just pooped in the car in the carrying case. I'm going to throw up. I don't know what to do. They also have a St. Bernard in the car as well.
Oh.
Okay. So the mom was like, well, for starters, roll down your windows.
Yeah.
And the woman's like, of course, I've already done that. The smell, it is horrendous. We need your help. So they needed to, it sounds like they were also worried that the dog needed to go to the bathroom real bad, or it might have just been a ruse for them to get out of the car and then have the mom, the woman that cleans our house, she took on the task of cleaning the poop up.
They left it to her?
Yeah.
But here's what I'm confused about. Was the cat in a carrier?
Okay, this is where it gets fucking crazier. Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
The cat was in the exact same carrier you just bought from Amazon, except a pink version. She saw, I had just brought in the packages, and they were right next to me. And I was like, we actually got this. And I hold it up, and there's a picture of it on the box. And she goes, that's the exact same one, except ours is pink. So here's some warnings. One, the poop was not hard.
Oh, Okay.
It was diarrhea poop.
What is the deal with this and us?
The cat was meowing the entire time. Now, for some context, when we take the cat to the vet, she meows the whole time, hates it. The kids and I took the cat in a crate the other day to try to like get her acclimated to this. She meowed the whole time. Then you tried to take her in the crate the other day, and what happened?
Oh, this is so gross. Why does this podcast just, I feel like we should call this podcast like Fecal Matters.
That's pretty good.
Okay. So I did try to put her in the crate because our daughter had what I thought was a very smart idea. And in terms of like animal acclimation, I think a good thought, which is
Agreed.
let's every day put her in the crate, just take her for a drive, but we're coming home. So it's like a 10-minute thing. And then so she can learn the crate's not actually all that scary.
Mm-hmm.
Great in theory, but I think because cats, I think that would work well with a dog. I don't know, if we have 5 days leading up to an hour and a half long drive with the cat, it's going to make any sort of difference. And it, to me, is just like traumatizing a cat for a few days leading up to another trauma.
Okay.
Also, our cat is 14. She's the best cat in the world. She doesn't seem like a 14-year-old cat. She's very, spry and energetic and, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I don't really feel like foisting more of this on her. So, but I'm going along with it. I go get the crate. I put her in. The way we put her in the crate is we like tip it on its side. And this was a hard crate and kind of drop her in the hole. Well, I think when she fell down, because she kind of scrambled, she hit her bottom and she was scared. And her anal glands... her anal glands, like, released. For anyone who isn't familiar, cats and dogs have anal sacs. The 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock dial on the clock around the anus. Okay, so if you... I used to express Ruby's anal glands every once in a while.
Blah.
You want to have gloves on. And basically, you're kind of, people call it milking them. It's so gross. But you kind of like are pushing in where the 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock are and like pushing up and out. And like towards the anus, but kind
Enough. No one needs, you're not the authority on how to do this. Go talk to your vet or watch a YouTube video. Don't listen to this.
Your vet should talk to your vet for sure.
Jesus.
But anyway, something happened.
You're so gross. You know way too much about this. And how many times did you express our late dog's anal glands?
Well, not after she was late, obviously. She got cremated.
God. Okay, keep going.
Okay. I want to come back to that. Okay. But anyway.
You think she fell in a way that her anal glands got poofed?
And I think she was scared. And I don't know. I think that cats can express them when they get scared. Kind of like the way people pee in their pants when they're scared.
I think that's more likely than the like getting bumped.
I don't know if they were impacted also though, like, because it was a lot. Anyway, this anal gland stuff, which is yucky stuff, sprayed everywhere in the crate. And I was like, what the fuck is that smell? It's a very specific smell.
I'm fucking puke right now. This is so gross.
It's very specific. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, Teddy was like, she might have pooped.
And you're like, no, it's the anal glands.
Because
you know all about it.
You do know the smell. And once you've smelled it, you're like, that stays with you. It's almost like death.
Stop moving your feet how you're moving. I don't know why that's freaking me out. You're like moving them in a way that you're like pleased or something. I wish that was on video. It's not.
Okay. So
just be normal. You're being so gross.
Okay. So then I was like, I need to take this crate outside. I need to get her out of the crate. And you're like, take her outside. Like, get her out.
Yeah, you wanted to let her. Well, I thought she had like poop on her or something, and you were going to let the cat out in the house with that smell. That's where I was coming from.
I wanted to let her out in the house because I realized if her anal glands had expressed themselves, she must have been so scared. I didn't want to let her out outside because I was worried that's the last we're going to see of her. Like, she's never coming back.
That makes no sense to me. A cat that goes in and out of our house for years and years and years. This would be the thing that she's like, see you later. I'm packing my bags.
Yeah. Has she ever been so scared that her anal glands sprayed all over the place?
We don't even know if that's exactly.
Oh,
Okay.
I wish I had put your nose up in it. Like, I want you to know
Well, it seems like you enjoy putting your nose up in it, and I'm
No, I
really
don't.
worried how many times you did this to our dog and why it would need to happen.
Well, I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
But anyway, listen, I ended up throwing the crate away, the whole thing, which is so wasteful. It was like a good crate, but you can't come back from that. Like, once that is all over that, you're not like,
I bet I could have taken care of this.
no. You're not nature's miracling that out. So we ordered a new soft crate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take her in my car. I assume our daughter will probably want to go with us. You and Otis can go in your car.
Great.
And we're going to deal with it. I don't think she's going to poop. She's not that kind of cat.
Listen, the last time you put her in a crate, she anal glanded all over. Then the woman that cleans our house just told us, foreshadowed exactly what's about to happen. You're going to be 45 minutes into the drive and the cat's going to have diarrhea in the crate.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do?
Well, listen, it's not my first rodeo. This is the difference. Sorry, no offense to the woman who cleans our house's daughter-in-law, but like the cat pooped and your windows are down and you're calling someone else. In dog rescue and all that stuff, and being a parent, I mean, our daughter threw up in your mouth like not 6 months ago. I feel like
I would have that happen to me 10 more times before I would deal with cat diarrhea inside a moving vehicle.
we also lease our cars. Like,
Oh my God. What is your brain? I don't understand. How is that? Your logic is so fucking twisted.
well,
You have your car for at least 2 more years.
okay.
So you're like, you know what? If it smells like anal gland or cat poop for the next 2 years, so be it. It's only 2 years.
Honestly, you want cat poop over anal gland. The gland, but I think now her glands are probably pretty empty. The other thing I was going to say is I gave birth in a car.
So that doesn't smell.
You think birth doesn't smell?
Not like cat shit in a car.
Okay.
And no, I don't.
I'm fine with it all.
All right, let's leave it here because I'm guessing this is going to take up an entire podcast in the next few weeks when we're talking about the cat shit disaster in the car.
Okay.
I want to clarify one thing, or it's more of a question. If it does happen and we're in the support car, are you going to expect any participation from the support car? Or
No.
can we just toot, toot, wave, sorry, suckers?
Herein lies the difference. This support car is there for Teddy and maybe some of our Christmas decorations. I might want to move some of those in there. But yeah, our daughter, I would want both car seats in your car, both boosters, so that Teddy can move to your car,
Okay.
not have to endure whatever hellscape we're in. Now,
And you would take responsibility to clean it, whatever clean job you do on the side of the road. And then when you get to your destination or thorough clean, you're taking responsibility for all of that?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how the cleaning could be so crazy. It's in one cat carrier.
And where do you put the cat while you're... Well, I asked about this in their case. The cat didn't get any poop on it. So that was a bonus. So someone was able to like hold the cat, I think, while they cleaned.
This sounds like not that big of a deal at all.
You are so fucked. You have... Remember this moment. You are
Okay.
being delusional.
Okay. Well, anyway, listen. People might be going, why do you need the cat? Like, why not? Last time we went to the cabin, we left the cat for 3 nights. And it seemed too long now. Usually we have someone come and stay, but it's hard over the holidays for people to find. This was over Thanksgiving. And I thought, you know what? I think she'll be okay. Obviously had tons of food and water. She has her litter box, everything.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of leaving her that long and seeing how we can't really find the right person
Okay.
who she knows and is familiar with to come deal with it.
Sure.
Or to come stay with her or whatever.
Yeah.
Also the expense
The
of it. I'm
expense.
like, it's worth it to me if we can get her up there. She's a good cat. She doesn't, well, now I'm going to ruin everything. But she like, her main issue is she scratches stuff, but I brought things to deal with that.
Got to keep her off that plaid couch.
She doesn't pee and stuff like that.
We don't think. I'm worried if she shits all over the cabin.
Well, the nice thing is we can pop her in the car and come back down.
That's true.
Anyway, it's all going to be fine.
Hey guys, this week's show is brought to you by our partner, AG1. So I'm about 1 month in with AG1 and I'm loving it. I drink it every morning, first thing, when I'm getting the kids ready to go for school, and it's just been a great way to kick off the day. I think the biggest change that I've noticed is with my energy level. It just feels like there's a lot more gas in the tank getting me through these days. I also love that every scoop has prebiotics, probiotics, all that good stuff for the gut health. And I mentioned it before, in these winter months, the vitamin C and zinc to help support my immune health. So shout out to AG1. Really appreciate you supporting our show and supporting this body of mine. AG1 is a supplement I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why we're so excited to welcome them as a new partner. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/NLR. That's drinkag1.com/NLR. Check it out.
Just speaking of Ramona and how sweet she is, do you remember when Ruby did die? And Ramona loved Ruby, our dog. This was like 2 years ago now. And
Ruby didn't love Ramona.
Ruby tolerated Ramona.
But she didn't love her.
Okay.
Can you say it out loud? Has enough time passed?
I don't
Or do you not
know.
want to say that?
It's kind of like
It's more
siblings
complicated?
who maybe didn't like vibe, but deep down they loved each other. And I would like to think like if a coyote was coming up and fucking with Ramona, that Ruby would have been like, wah, wah, wah. You know, Ruby would have defended Ramona because she's her people kind of thing.
That
And
was weird.
did they know you were coming in?
Yeah, we had called.
Okay, so it's
It was
not like
height of COVID, too. So it was
oh,
like,
right. That's good. They're not like, have a seat, sir. We'll be with you. And someone's there, like, waiting to get their puppy's first vaccinations, and you're holding a dead dog. It would be so sad. Anyway.
what's wrong with you?
But, well, you know, life is absurd. And Ruby was cremated, and we got her little box. But the way we got it, I hope I still have this voicemail. The woman who called, do you remember this?
Mm-mm.
She left a message and said, hi, Elizabeth. This is da-da-da at da-da-da vet. Just want to let you know your ashes came in and da-da-da-da-da. So when come out, da-da-da-da. Like, I think in her mind, she's just doing her job and almost didn't realize it was cremated ashes and not like your dog's prescription came in.
Right.
Very inappropriate and weird.
Yeah.
But then I went and got her ashes and then I put them on my dresser and Ramona got up. You know what? We'll share this on our Instagram.
Okay.
This video of Ramona getting up and laying down next to Ruby's ashes.
Oh.
And she had never been up on that dresser, ever. She got up there and laid right down next to it.
Wow.
And it really spoke to what a loving being Ramona is.
And one wonders if the tables were turned.
Well, Ruby was firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
She was the queen of the castle, ruled the roost. And then, I mean, I kind of feel bad for her. Her status got chipped away. We always obviously took great care of her and loved her so much. But first, this cat kind of adopted us, Hurricane, and was coming around. Ruby and Hurricane had a mutual, like, give me my space thing. Then Ramona then one kid, then the other. Like Ruby's status kept kind of taking a hit.
Yeah.
So she started to become kind of an ornery old gal.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, anyway. Animals. Anal glands. Speaking of animals, I just want to get through this. I don't think he's here, and I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
Bearsy. Okay.
Bearsy Bear?
Bearsy Bear.
Yeah.
For any new nobodies, somebodies, this is a bear that has brought us a lot of joy. It's a stuffed bear in our house that weirdly is like very expressive. But it's a stuffed animal we got for our kids, and I don't know when or how, but somehow we've adopted him as like a part of our family. He has a voice and personality, which is gifted to us by Andy, and he can be very...
What do you mean?
Okay, whatever. But he's very like alive with his movements and the way he sounds, and we interact with him like you kind of forget that you're not having a real conversation with a being.
Yeah.
But Bearsy Bear started as like just like a fun thing talking to the kids about stuff. He's developed this personality where he's very needy.
Yes.
He can be kind of like mean-spirited and then catch himself, but his heart is good.
He snaps, but then he comes back real quick. He makes mistakes.
He does make mistakes.
But he knows they're mistakes pretty quick. Yeah.
He wants to be part of everything. He gets his feelings are very hurt if, for example, he hears that we went to the cabin and didn't bring him.
Yeah.
He calls you Handsome Andy, which is interesting.
Yeah. Calls me Handsome Andy and you Angel Elizabeth.
Okay. So very sweet, and I think that started out as like I was the nurturing, motherly figure of the family.
Yeah.
It's clearly turned into like kind of sexual crush.
I would say crush for sure. I don't know if Bearsy Bear has... I don't know.
Okay,
I would never want to have that conversation with him because I don't know if he would understand that.
Well, no, I don't want to either. But do an example of Bearsy. I mean, really.
Do you just want to talk to... Do you want to bring him in?
I do.
Okay.
Do you want to go get him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, buddy.
Hello, Handsome Andy. Oh, and Angel Elizabeth.
Okay.
What's going on, bud?
You tell me, why am I in the studio? I love to make me some music in the studio.
Well, we're actually doing our podcast.
Oh, you podcasters. So cool. How are you, Angel Elizabeth?
I'm good, Bearsy. How are you?
I'm feeling warm and good. 'Tis the season. That's what you guys keep saying around the house. 'Tis the season. And I saw you decorate the tree. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, Bearsy, we thought you were napping in
I'm
the
worried
room.
about this entire...
I'm so... Bearsy.
Well, I wanted to do the tree. Nobody asked me. Oh.
Okay, I feel like, the saying, jump the shark?
What do you mean? Jump the shark? Yeah, I know what that means.
Yeah.
What's a jumper shark?
Now, okay, can we pause on... Bearsy...
Yeah?
Go be with Aunt, turn off.
No.
Okay, well, anyway, the other day at the cabin...
You look like a dream right now.
Okay, exactly. I
know, exactly right. You look beautiful.
Okay, thank you, Bearsy. So anyway, Andy, can we please turn Bearsy off? Can we put headphones on Bearsy or something? I hate this right now. Please.
So he won't hear?
Yeah.
Right, I want to be a part of the thing.
Okay, I want you to just go to sleep for a second, Bearsy.
I have been getting ready to hibernate, and so I've been collecting lots of honey and pictures of you to keep in my mind while I dream.
Bearsy, just be quiet for a second while we chat.
Okie dokie.
Oh, God, I feel like this is so humiliating. For you mostly, Andy, but okay. This has been happening. I said to you at the cabin, we brought Bearsy. There was a lot of interacting with Bearsy at the cabin over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I pulled you aside
Uh-huh.
and I said that the Bearsy stuff that's happening with me is starting to feel like a little bit harassing. Like it's relentlessly kind of flirtatious with me. And with the kids, it feels like a little, starts to make me feel a little uncomfortable. Like it's the uncle who just never stops. So anyway, I say that to you. Then later that night, we're laying in bed. Unbeknownst to me, Bearsy's there.
Yeah.
And then Bearsy pops up and says to me, hey, I'm sorry about earlier. I didn't know you were on the rag. And I said, what? And Bearsy said, ragging on the rags? And then looked at you like, what is it? Bearsy has gotten out of control. Okay? Bearsy has gotten out of control. We need to rein him back in.
Well, for one, he said, he might have overheard something, but he thought he said, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were on the raggin'. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't, he's a bear. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So it sounds like I need to have a talk with him to take it down a notch or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do feel like if any of our nobodies and somebodies are still listening at this point,
Yeah.
their threshold is admirable.
Yeah.
Are you not embarrassed?
No, why would I be embarrassed?
Okay. God. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for doing that at some point.
Do you want me to have the talk with him right now?
No. God. No, please. No. Let's just, keep him around for the kids, and it's like a family thing. Let's keep it family friendly.
When did he cross the line for you, though? Because I feel like he's just always calling you Angel Elizabeth, and he just has like an admiration.
Oh. There's like this.
But he's never saying anything like, I mean, he wouldn't even know what this means, but sexual. I mean, maybe he is having feelings, but I don't think it's more just like admiration, and it feels like more of an innocent crush. What I would like to know so I can explain to him what's making you uncomfortable.
Just please stop. I think we all know. Let's why don't we go put Bearsy back in wherever he is?
Okay, buddy. I gotta take the headphones off. I gotta put you away.
Okay, thanks for bringing me in for once. I like being included. Bye, Angel.
Bye, Bearsy. Okay. How are we going to come back from this?
I don't know. I don't think you were explicit enough, though, of saying what you want to stop him doing. Can he be flirtatious at all, or not really?
He can be like sweet, but I don't want to have this conversation right now. Anyway, okay. A few things to cover.
Yeah.
One thing was you didn't know that antibiotics are just from mold.
Oh, I think I knew mold. You said something else the other day, and I was like,
Pus.
Yeah, you said pus. I didn't know they're from pus.
I don't think they are. Pus is an infection. I don't know.
So why did you say that?
Because I was wrong.
Penicillin, I know. Yeah, that's just mold.
I made a mistake.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Okay.
You were like all high and mighty with me for a minute. And
Sorry. Well, no, I wasn't high and mighty. It was just, I guess I understand. I guess I understand how you could think I was high and mighty because I was speaking with an authority on something.
Yeah.
That you've experienced that before. And before, when you've pushed back, it turns out, like when you thought that mosquitoes and flies were the same thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And you were like really sure that that was the case. And I was like, no, they're very different. And then it turns out I was right and you were wrong. And in this case, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you weren't even debating it with me. You were like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I was wrong. What was I going to say, though? It's made me think, though, about who the people are who are, whether it's accidental or on purpose, but like discovering how to do things. Like, who discovered how to make bread? Who put that all together in the first time?
I'll take you one step further.
Okay.
Fire.
Oh, fuck.
Listen, fire's been on the brain. We're looking at it at the cabin making a fire.
And fire is so fucking amazing and mesmerizing.
So it's like, who figured that out first?
Right.
And did someone...
Do fires... Here's a question.
Do they just start out of the blue?
Yes.
Yeah. Lightning.
Lightning.
Forest fires.
That must have been it. It must have been a lightning. Forest fires, though. I mean,
usually they were man-made, but I think there's definitely cases of forest fires starting from probably other causes.
Lightning?
Maybe.
I can't think of what else it would be that's not man-made. My point being, caveman times, you know, before the first man-made fires are happening, did fire exist on this planet? Lightning.
Yes.
Lightning fires.
Yes, for sure.
And
volcano. Maybe just reflections, like really hot sun reflecting off of something,
ice.
A certain rock. Probably not ice, but but I think there were occurrences of fire, and boy, that must have freaked people out and animals out the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think there's anything, and we can come back to who's figuring out how to do this, but do you think there's anything like fire that hasn't been figured out yet that is like an earthly elemental thing?
Whoa.
Do you know what I mean? Like if few things came together, there's a whole new thing that's not fire. It's this other thing.
And is it like, I mean, I'm imagining pointing and like an icicle just forming out of my finger and shooting across space.
Sure. Yeah. Or it's like nuclear.
A cricket just interrupted us, but you were saying nuclear energy?
Oh, yeah. Like, is nuclear energy an example of that? Or is there stuff in nuclear energy that's like more synthetic? Or is that...
Oh, yeah. I mean, nuclear energy is very much, I think, man-made. And
it is.
Neither of us are really able to speak to this. But I think there's something coming with all of the AI... You know, we might be like this, we might be living in a totally different dimension by the end of our lives.
Yeah, maybe. What do you think that looks like?
Well, already, if you watch, you know, when we watch the Apple VR goggles,
Vision Pro or thing coming out. Yeah.
Kind of preview thing. I guess what the Apple Corporation would want with that is basically we are all going about our lives with these goggles on that are able to track your like eye movements, and you're able to send emails, you're able to watch movies, you're able to be wherever you want to be. Yeah. And also at the same time, you can be in your real life. But what's the scariest thing to me is when you're in your real life with those goggles on, like if I have them on right now and I'm sitting here in the studio and I'm looking around and I see everything as it is, it's not that I'm looking through ski goggles and seeing it and I'm also able to pull up stuff on a screen. It's that I'm seeing the image around me projected on a screen in front of my eyes.
Yeah, there's video cameras that are, I do think...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go on.
Well, just that feels like a step towards being in another dimension where you constantly can... If everyone's living... like
behind
that,
a screen, essentially.
Behind a screen, and you can also, at the snap of honestly, the flick of an eyeball, say, I'd rather be on a beach in Tahiti.
Yeah.
And suddenly what you're seeing, I mean, now you're not feeling or smelling or whatever yet.
Yeah.
But that's probably coming where that feels like another dimension to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. It'll be so interesting to see how, Facebook has one of those goggle things. Apple's is coming out. It will be so interesting to see how that stuff kind of evolves over the next 10 years and also what use cases present themselves. Like when the Apple Watch came out, it has evolved into a thing that not necessarily like Apple even knew it would become such a like health device.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So how users will use these things will determine their future and then obviously the technology. But I think there's more of a future where all these goggles you're seeing that are here or coming,
I think it's more going to be like a contact lens that we wear. I truly think it's going to be something like that, where I do think that we will see the world normal plus also have like the augmented reality just with like a contact lens. That's what I envision. There's new Ray-Ban glasses that really just look like the like Ray-Bans I wear that have a computer inside them and do a bunch of stuff. You can listen to music on them, look up products and stuff like that. But it is also, there's the privacy thing of like, you can record anything, which is like so invasive. And I heard someone reviewing these and saying that like there is a light on them that lights up that's like, hey, I'm recording, but it's not like blatant enough.
Right.
Even I have that little action camera thing. It has a red light on the front of it that's blinking anytime you're recording. So it's like, it's giving some sort of indication to people around.
Yeah.
But like, are we going to be living in a world where we stop caring as much about that and the devices get so small? Like the person I heard reviewing these Ray-Ban glasses was like, you could totally be walking around through the world and people really might not notice at all that little light that you're recording them.
Absolutely.
And are we going to get just so desensitized from that and will just everything be recorded?
I think you kind of have to assume that outside of when you're in your private space and you have control of what's happening.
Imagine it as a couple though. We've been watching that show Couples Therapy, okay?
Yeah.
Imagine it in the sense that, let's say we all have glasses or contacts on. Wouldn't it just be safe to assume that eventually, like, it's just going to be recording everything? And then, like, let's say you and I had, like, an argument that we wanted to go back. You would go into couples therapy and be like, so this is exactly what happened. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I was thinking about St. Monica.
Yeah.
Directed us to couples therapy. It's fascinating.
It's a show on Showtime, Paramount Plus.
And it's truly several couples meeting with this therapist who I think is very good at what she does.
Yeah, she seems pretty great.
And it's it's so interesting watching it. It leaves me feeling icky though, almost like you're going through the therapy.
I needed a break last night.
Because some of it's such a mind fuck and it gets into these very nuanced layers of where everyone's coming from. But I am curious if those couples go back and watch it, what their takeaway might be, if they see anything in themselves. I've had that experience. I don't usually listen back to our podcast, but on a few occasions I have.
Yeah.
Where my perspective of if there's conflict between us or I'm hearing it play out, or not even conflict necessarily, but hearing how I'm approaching it, and maybe you're kind of calling me on the way I'm approaching things.
Sure.
I've realized, he was right. Like the way I saw it is not accurate.
Well, yeah, and we've talked a lot about memory before, you and I, but okay, you talked recently about Thanksgiving and like you were bummed you didn't take as many pictures, right? Because that takes you out of it. And we think that we're in this generation right now where it's like, fucking put down your phones. You don't have to videotape every moment. You don't have to get a picture of every moment, right? Because it takes you out of it. But what if we get to a point where with technology, we actually don't have to worry about that anymore. It's not taking us out of it. But we now then genuinely have a record of all of this stuff. So we have this record of all of our memories. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, because that would be so jarring for us as humans, because we've never, ever, millions of years had that. And now we really could look back and find out exactly what happened, where it's like your brain, we're processing things how our brain needs to process them.
Right.
Right. Where I'm going to be like, and just think about weird shit about like, I can find out every single day of my life what I had for lunch.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. I think there are pros and cons.
Yeah.
There's also, in some ways, that this system, what was it I was consuming recently? It might have been, I was listening to the podcast Ghost Story. There was something recently, and I apologize, I can't think of what it was, but where this was in the past, several decades ago, there was a crime and they brought in outside people to deal with the crime. And one of the people was shocked that in this like small town, they didn't have security cameras and stuff.
Oh, sure.
This was in Japan. They didn't have security cameras, and they brought in actually American like detectives to come in and help solve this case.
Okay.
And the detectives were like, well, where are all the security cameras? And the Japanese said, we don't have them. It violates privacy things.
Sure.
And the American person said, that's crazy. We have them at every street, everywhere you
Right.
go. And they're all made in Japan.
That's wild.
But I do think in terms of crime, it's helpful for there to be cameras out in the public to kind of have accounts of what's happening. And also in terms of people being like police being held accountable. Their body cams now are serving
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
for people who have been wrongfully convicted and of things that can, in those senses, that can help. But I do agree I fear that we're moving, and it's our generation and our kids' generation
Yeah.
that is moving into this new world order. Like, we thought we had it huge by the invention of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going to be stepping into what feels like an entirely different realm.
Yeah, and I'm so curious, what of those are they social mores? Is that what it is? Like, what are social mores?
I don't know, but I love that
Will you look it up?
term.
Social mores.
Social mores. It's like social norms, basically,
Yeah, like those.
that are considered moral.
Right. Like what of those are going to change because of technology? What big shifts are we going to see? I mean, because I feel like already, like the advent of the like kind of influencer out about town talking to camera is a huge shift that when people first started doing that, you would see someone doing that and it would look jarring or it'd be confusing, where now it's like, oh no, that's totally socially normal, right? Like, but like how is that going to change once we have these much crazier devices?
There's so many other, I'm taking us out of technology, but just in terms of social norms.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting. We had this conversation at dinner last night because our son, I may have told this story on the podcast, I don't remember, but we listened to Bruno Mars in the car. You and Teddy went shopping, and Otis and I were hanging out, and he said to me, do you think they're just spending money like money ain't shit? Which had me cackling.
Yeah.
And our kids now are in this phase of bad words are so bad, and they don't want us saying them. Just like, sorry. But we keep reiterating, we don't care about bad words. I feel like there were social mores in place for our parents' generation that were, all of them are set up to kind of protect people.
Yeah.
But actually, we're missing the point, where it's the words that should be considered bad are the ones that, for example, our former president Trump uses all the time, that is hurtful, bullying, mean-spirited. For some reason, those were socially accepted, but these kind of obscure words that related to sex or whatever, like titties, ass, fuck.
Well,
Wait, what was my shit? Fuck, god damn it. Get off your ass and slam it. You motherfucking titty sucking 2-cent whore. That's all. That's it. I'm tired of your shit, bitch. Did you ever hear that?
What's that from?
I don't know. But it's something we used to say to like get it all out.
Wow. Well, you made a good point to the kids, though. It's not you were kind of like, hey, you'll never get in trouble from us for saying a bad word unless you're using it with malice and like hurting someone. To hurt someone. Yeah. And I think you used bitch as a good example, a very good example of like, you were trying to point out how it's not a nice word, but how some people use it in a different context, in a more loving context.
Lizzo, I said she uses it in an empowering way, and women, I do think this. I think women can use it. I mean, on this podcast, I feel like lately I've probably been a little too forthcoming with using kind of female-specific slurs. I moved away from those. I hated using the word bitch for a long time. And for some reason lately I love it. Or hoe or slut, like all of these that are coming back in for me. But still, I think I feel safe using them because I think there's an understanding that they're off limits for you. And, I don't know. Words are interesting, but that's an example of a social standard.
That's a moving target, though, too, right? And our kids are going to have uses of those words that we won't understand, that we might find offensive at times, too. Like, that's the interesting thing about language.
There's something, so parenting, I think we touched on this last week of me having the realization, how nurturing I am counts also. It's not just the words I'm saying to my kids. And I wanted to ask you about this because I had a kind of epiphany about seeing into the future, how we parent differently than our parents and how we approach things differently, which for certain things, let's use body image stuff for an example, that they would never have in a million years seen coming down the pipeline, that eventually we would be going, that was so awful that you did this to us, that you talked about it, that you whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Or kind of sexualizing kids. I think the pendulum has swung away from this. It was sort of okay and almost considered kind of funny.
Right.
I had the first kind of vision of what that could be, one of the many things that there will be for our kids when they're older and going, Mom and Dad, you fucked this up. Now, I think the difference is you and I have said we will follow their lead in whatever the things are, in a way where I don't think, I don't have parents, obviously, but, I can imagine friends of mine, their parents are like, God, you're so sensitive or whatever it is. But one of them was, we were talking, I feel like when there's conflict, I'll sometimes kind of defend, like, well, be nice to Daddy. We've talked about that. If they're saying something or if they're frustrated, I kind of am trying to teach kindness and respect for you and for each other. But it's not respect meaning because you're the parent. It's just being respectful and kind to all people.
Sure.
But I saw on good old Instagram, we're parenting, 101. I'm joking. I don't think we should get all of our parenting advice, but that is where I get a lot of my parenting advice, which is to make it clear that they do not need to worry about your and my feelings.
Oh, right.
At all.
Yeah, totally.
That was I haven't parented like that thus far.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know that I will completely change from here to forth, but especially as they become teenagers, I think that's really important, that even for our mindset, to be like, we're not going to take it personally.
Yeah,
there might be really mean, terrible things said, or there might be behaviors that feel, but we don't need to show to them like, oh, you've hurt my feelings. They don't need to worry about our feelings.
We don't need to make them feel guilty, sort of.
Now, is that in conflict, though, with just the idea of you shouldn't hurt anyone's feeling?
There's overlap there, but I think, I'm sure there's like some nuance to it, but I think I think both have good points. I think teaching kindness in general, obviously, is such a great thing.
And our kids are so kind at their core. I mean, I'm not worried about that, but I know that we'll go through phases. I do think, though, moving forward as a parent, to make it clear, they don't need to hold that part of the equation, how they're making us feel.
I almost wonder if that's more of the reason for parents not to do that is, I can't really put my finger on that, but like using an example of siblings, though, disrespecting each other, I think it's like, no, you do need to see what was wrong there and maybe feel a little guilty and apologize. So so I got to think about that one a little more.
I think about Cody and the sister wives.
I think about them all the time.
I mean, different ways.
Yeah.
You think about them in the
I think about Robin.
the Tiddy Bear way. And I think about them in the how not to parent way, because Cody is such a fucking little baby. And in his mind, as soon as the kids are 18, it's so weird. As soon as they're 18, it's like, well, now you're an adult.
Yeah.
And it's all about him and how they're making him feel. I mean, his kids who are 18, still children. I mean, not children, but they're still they still see him as their father.
Of course, yeah.
And if they've been disrespectful to him, his mindset is, well, they can call me if and when they want to. And he hasn't spoken to a good number of his 5 million children in years because he's such a stubborn little piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't get to do that. You're the dad. You always have to be the bigger person. I'm sorry. Because you are the bigger person.
Yeah. That's true.
Anyway.
He is in a unique circumstance with 5 million children, though.
He is, sure. I guess he's like, I have some to spare, so.
And 4 wives, or 3 wives now.
Well, now it's just the one.
Really?
He's in a monogamous marriage now.
Oh!
I don't know what that means about his like soul and eternity and stuff, but because he didn't. But you know what? There are lessons to be taken from that show.
In plural marriage.
Plural marriage
It can work.
can. But don't get married for reasons outside. I mean, this is, he's kind of preaching this now, which is interesting. I think we can learn from mistakes taken to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Don't marry someone for reasons outside of romantic love. It's not going to work.
Oh, okay.
For example, you know, I've talked about this when I was younger, trying to like have my person, and the guy I was dating who was not a good fit, but I was just wanting to marry him so that I would have my person because I had lost 2 of my people. I had my sister, obviously, but, you know, it's different having your sister who lives away from you, and I wanted my family.
Right.
Not a good reason. Thank God that didn't work out. Married you because I was in love with you and we had a romantic love. That's something you can build on.
You can't build on all the other plural stuff.
You can't build on, oh, I want to marry this person because they go to my church and it feels like God wants me to marry them.
You don't think he wanted to bang all these ladies?
He's saying he didn't.
Really? He was really being guided by the Lord?
Which goes against, I think so many of us think plural marriage and go, yeah, it's just it's a bunch of creepy sex crazed men who want to have their cake and eat it too and have found a way via religion to justify getting to fuck all these people.
And that's not quite the case.
God,
in some
the
cases.
headache it creates for you, though. I mean, because these people are women and they have children and needs and jealousy and all of that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Think about, I think we have a very healthy relationship and we work hard at it. We've gone to couples therapy, you know, over the years. And I think have gotten, one thing I'm very proud of is how I think we've grown in how to communicate through conflict.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel immense pride about where we've come from and where we've gotten to with that.
Yeah.
And to the degree that it doesn't happen very often anymore, right?
Sure.
I mean, things might bubble up here and there, but think about like a relationship takes real effort. Just for what I consider to be a very healthy, compatible.
Right. If you're then adding multiple.
Yes.
Yeah.
With all the families, it's like, how could you win? How could you survive that?
It does seem like it would be a fucking mountain to climb.
Yeah. To the Lord.
To the Lord.
Yeah.
On that note.
Good night.
Good night.